To learn about the off-grid lifestyle and to be inspired to live your dreams, click subscribe so you don't miss anything. Hit the bell notification. So found out today that I can't live off grid unless I have 10 acres. So I guess what I need to do is try to explain some things before I get started and talking about that. Tell you, this morning it was absolutely gorgeous. It's still gorgeous. It's August, mid-August right now. The temperature I woke up this morning was 61 or 2 degrees. This week it's supposed to get down into the 50s, like 59 for morning time temperatures. So I'm actually really able to get a lot of stuff done here lately, the last couple days. Cutting wood. Today I cut some wood and split some wood. Got the grass mowed. I push mow the grass, of course, and it gets pretty hot, when it's 90 degrees in the morning when you wake up. I've been pushing it out about 2.5 weeks before I actually mow any grass. So this morning, it was no problem at all. Literally no sweat. Of course I sweated a little bit, but I'd sit down for a few minutes. I took my shirt off to just cool off so I didn't start sweating, and steam was coming off of me, so that was pretty cool. It really has me excited about this fall. I'm going to get back down in these woods here and get some work done. We've been dreaming about what we're going to do all summer. Now we got to be careful down here in August. Right now is snake season. When I say snake season, I mean copperheads are having their babies. And baby copperhead's poison is just as bad as full grown. Of course, they don't kill you, but it sure does make you sick for a while. I can't really work down here. It's just not feasible. And especially with morning time temperatures getting so cold, the copperheads are going to come out and they're going to try to bask themselves in the sun. So you got to be careful. I've got this little path cut out here, and that's about as far as I'm going to risk it. I got another path cut out over here that I could walk. So Carolyn and I just walked down here a little bit ago. We're looking at different trees and what we want to do down here. Of course, as soon as fall hits and there's no risk of snakes, and I'm going to get really hard and heavy back into cutting firewood. Right now I'm just going down to the city park and I'm cutting a tree up that is down. It's down by a big storm we had. That'll get me, I guess, until about September. And then I can see what I'm going to do next. I got this neighbor's tree over here that isn't in the wooded area, so I might be able to get that one. But with it cooling down, I'm really getting excited. Summertime has really slowed us down. Carolyn and I bought this property for $4,200. It was what we could do. We found 10 acres for $7,200, but it was out in the middle of nowhere. Of course, I got to work. I still got, I'm not retired. So I had to have internet, and I have internet through my phone to power a router and a Wi-Fi connection and all the things you would need to actually have someone connect you through DSL or something. It would take up a lot of energy. You got different components. I looked it up one time. I think it was going to be like 300 watts an hour. So you couldn't run it that long. So cell phones is the best thing we can do. So you got to have cell signal. Well, this place has a cell signal. The other thing about the 10 acres was it would have cost a lot of money to develop it, so we could even get on it. It needed a driveway so we could get, culvert and It just needed a lot of stuff. This one, we were able to drive down, put the camper down onto the ground. I think the next day I worked on the camper to kind of get it set up for us. And the third day, I put a well pump in the well. So, I mean, everything was there for $4,200. And I have done the math very carefully. This is the key. When we talk about acreage, so when you're off grid, you really got to think tiny. And tiny acreage, tiny house, tiny everything. So you can live your dreams, so you can be happy, be free. You know, you got to be a half a mile away from your closest neighbor. Okay, why? As long as my neighbor's leaving me alone, what is the big deal? I don't understand the philosophy that in order to be happy and free, you got to spend a ton of money. Because if you're spending a ton of money, I can assure you, you're probably not happy or free. My guess is you're probably in debt, and as soon as you're in debt, you're not free. Freedom is debt-free. Once you're debt-free, you can do anything you want. Now, are we going to be able to supply ourselves with enough firewood to be able to live the rest of our lives on 1.5 acres? Well, the answer is yes. We have Google now. And if you have questions like that, Google has all the answers. Roughly, it will take 3 trees a year to heat a 200 square foot house. Well, that's what our house is, 198 square feet. Approximately a cord of wood. That's a tree has to be 14 inches in order to do that. So 3 14-inch in diameter trees. We have 5 cords now, and it was all deadfall. Most of it was still standing, but you know, we got some more deadfall. We got deadfall all over the place. My neighbor has 5 acres and said I could have as much firewood over there as I wanted. I got 3 trees up here I got to cut down. Neighbor's got a tree over here I got to cut down. They're all dead. And they're not even mine. Like I said, the city park's got a tree. There's 7 trees and I only need 3. So 7 trees is going to get me 2.25 years, 2 1/3 years. So yes, you can do it. Now, that being said, can this 1.5 acres supply us with all the firewood that we need? Well, it can. I estimate there's anywhere from 65 to 103 trees on this property. I need 3 trees a year. I mean, just doing the simple math, I think it's going to take, if I cut down every tree right now, I think that would get us out 20 years. In 10 years, 15 years, this tree right here is going to be a big guy. Trees replenish themselves. So if I have to take living trees, then these trees will replenish. Look at this one. See, in a few years, this guy is going to be big and tall, and I bet that thing's only 2 or 3 years old, and look how tall it is, way up there already. You got to minimize. If you're using 15 to 20 cords a year, I'm going to use 1. 1.5 acres isn't going to work. You're going to have to have 10 acres, 20 acres, 30 acres to make that work. If you happen to work that hard to cut that much firewood, you're not free then either. You're killing yourself. You know, I want some time to enjoy things also. I mean, right now it's just fantastic out here. I'm not sweating. It's just beautiful. So start your research today. Don't wait another minute. If you can get debt-free or are debt-free, don't wait another minute. Get on Facebook. That's where we found this property. Both of the properties, 10 acres and this property, we found on Facebook Marketplace. Private ownership seller. You can negotiate prices. You don't have to go through a realtor. You know, a realtor is going to charge more money. The guy who was selling this, his original price was $10,000 for this little 1.5 acres. And I hear from all the neighbors. All the neighbors wanted to buy it. But it was too much. Well, he lowered the price, lowered the price, lowered the price. Carolyn even saw it drop $1,000. You know, when we asked him about it, he had $4,900, and we negotiated it down to $42,000. I mean, how do you beat that kind of price? So yes, you can do it. So for the folks who constantly are telling me you can't live on 1.5 acres and live off grid, I am telling you that we are doing it. There's just nothing mathematically hard about this. And my goal is to make sure that I don't even harm or disturb the beauty of this place. For example, here's a walnut tree. The walnut tree is not in good shape. We got one dead branch up there already. It's a twin tree. These twin trees, I've noticed, don't last very long, and it's on the lean. that means the storm's going to push it over at some point. So as you can see, I think you can see, I've marked it off. I'm going to cut this tree down eventually. Maybe not this year, but when I don't have deadfall, I already got, like I said, 7 trees. I may not get this tree this year, but it's going to be one of the first ones I do get. So that way I don't detract from the beauty, and I can keep the woods healthy. Take the unhealthy trees first. So yes, for those who think that living off-grid is impossible on an 1.5 acres, you can live off-grid in your apartment. If you can get your solar panels set up and put them out on the balcony, you can at least get started. And you can start learning and dreaming and achieving and saving. I really want to inspire you to be free and live on your 1.5 acres. Thanks for watching.